sure, Anosike Ementa is not a name that every football fan knows. Maybe not even a lot of Nigerian football fan knows. He's a player that's eligible to play for Nigeria and for Denmark, and he's a special player. I'm not saying he's a superstar player yet, though he has the potential to be there. But he's a special player, and I think he's someone that will fit into the Nigerian national team. Maybe not as a starter, but someone that can help make Eric Chill a bit more tactically flexible. Someone that can be a perfect foil for the likes of Victor Osimhen, Ademola Lookman, and Anosike Ementa. He is 6'8" tall, 6'8" tall. Plays for VFL Viborg at the minute. But I think his height and his physical presence makes him super special. Now, when I talk about what makes players super special, when you look at the kind of players that Nigeria readily produces, or any country for that matter, and then you look at what that player would provide, you see, and then when what that player would provide or provides is unique to them or to only a handful, then you say that player is super special. Now, in Nigeria, we know when it comes to pacey wingers, for sure bet. When it comes to, pacey fullbacks, for sure. When it comes to, powerful, pacey forwards, yes, we're on the money. When it comes to, dynamic central defensive midfielders, we are on the money. But when it comes to deep line playmakers, that's where we have issues. But also when it comes to having giant area threats that can just absolutely impose themselves physically on the opposition defenders, that's something that, Nigeria, we don't really have that much. Of course, you have your Victor Osimhen, who is 6'1", 6'2". You have your Victor Boniface, that's in and around that height as well. But Anosike Ementa, being 6'8", he brings something very unique to that team. Now, I say it will allow, Eric Chill to be tactically flexible if he has him in the team, because then you decide to play small man 4-4-2. By small man 4-4-2, I mean you play one small striker and a big striker, like physically. So can you imagine a 6'1" Victor Osimhen being the small striker, and you have an Anosike, so you can just put those balls in the box, put those crosses in, and I think it gives, Nigeria an opportunity to redeem itself. How do I mean? Nigeria, we had a Paul Onuachu. We still have him, but he's getting on in years right now. 6'7", I think, 6'6", 6'7". We had him in the team and just used him poorly. One of the games that really upset me was the game I watched against, I think it was Nigeria and Benin Republic, at home. And then you had Paul Onuachu dropping so deep, even into midfield. I was like, what's going on? what's going on here? Paul Onuachu was dropping deep into midfield to look for balls, to fight like he was a midfielder to get the balls, to get the feel of the ball. When you had such a threat where he could just put those crosses in and he would win the header. Now, Anosike Ementa isn't just a big presence, a giant of a person, literally, but he is also very good with the ball at his feet. But I think his size and athletic ability, just gives him a shoe in into the Nigerian Super Eagles squad. Now, may not be be a starter. I'm not saying he comes in, Victor Osimhen, you go to the bench. No. I'm not saying he comes in, Tolo Rukudari, go to the bench. No. But he comes in and instantly, provides something different, something unique to the team. Because if you're going to the Nations Cup, African Cup of Nations 2025 in Morocco, I'll definitely be doing watch alongs for those games, so keep your eyes peeled on the channel for that, as well as we draw ever so closely to the AFCON. It's always it's a physical competition, and you need to get players that can deal with that sort of physicality. And then when you go to the World Cup as well, you need to have unique players that you can use to set up differently. Maybe you're in a group. If Nigeria qualifies, in a group with Argentina, and the Argentine national team, they are super physical, super physical. Some might even say they're aggressive. You could have an Ementa and Victor Osimhen. And one thing about football that people don't understand is when you have a physical specimen like a Cola, for instance, Ian Cola, that's way, way back. Anosike Ementa, in this case that we're talking about, the player in view, instantly he attracts the attention of one centre back, at the very least, two centre backs, sometimes even a centre back and a fullback, or two centre backs and a DM. And what that does, it frees, and what that would do, it will free up room for Victor Osimhen. Can you imagine Victor Osimhen in freedom, in more space? Then that means that's more goals. That increases opportunity for him to score goals. And that means Anosike can absolutely, with his physical presence, just make life difficult for a lot of defenders that Nigeria could possibly face in the AFCON and the World Cup. So that is why I want him in the Nigerian Super Eagles. Now you say, oh, you want all these players in Nigerian Super Eagles team? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. If they're eligible to play and they choose to play, because as dual nationals always do, they always have choice. If he chooses to play for Nigeria, then I think he would be a very, very, very useful player for the team. So I'd like to know your thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And as well, before I end the video, I want to say this: I'll be putting out videos about the English Premier League. If you want to watch, if you're interested in such content, come on the channel. And how do you know? Click the notification bell as well, so you're notified when those videos come on live as well. We're talking about your favorite clubs, from your Chelsea's to your Arsenal's to your Liverpool's. Talking about Champions Leagues as well. So I'd like to see you be part of those shows. So at this point, I've come to the end of this video, and I'll see you on yet another video. Stay well, stay blessed.